How we keep it high, we never mind the Babylon sound. See them in a distance, while we floating on a cloud of smoke.
Good afternoon, KMUD family. It is 5:03. It's our fun drive. We are having fun in here. You've got it tuned to the mud. Thank you, JJ, bringing for rocking on. It's 5:03. You got it tuned to the mud. KMUD Garberville, 91.1. KMUE Eureka, 88.1. KLEI Laytonville, 90.3. Shelter Cove, 99.5. Live and on demand at KMUD.org. It's a full house here in Studio C. It is the place to be. KMUD. We're doing it, folks. We're doing it, folks. Cannabis show coming up with Steve and Sunshine. We're going to have some live music here in a second as well. We're keeping the live music going. We want to let you know Redwood Community Radio is supported by Humboldt Seed Company, a local seed producer with over 20 years of experience in breeding and seed production. Humboldt Seed Company supports the local community in navigating the licensing process and staying competitive in the industry. They can be reached at HumboldtSeeds.com. And support for KMUD comes from Draft Punk and from Earlier Productions, presenting a cinema-inspired cabaret and circus event called Oktoberlesk, a night at the movies. The event features live music, cabaret, circus performances, and immersive theater held at Tan Oak Park Saturday, October 4th. Doors open at 6 p.m. for guests ages 21 and older. All proceeds to benefit the initiatives of Tan Oak Park. Let's take it into the microphone next door to Steve and Sunshine.
Hi, guys.
Hey there.
This is exciting.
This is exciting.
You were listening to live music on the previous show, and they're deep involved in Takedown, and we're here in the engineer's booth.
Right.
Just as crowded as we can be. In fact, I'm maybe handing the microphone. Is there slack?
Maybe.
Looks like it.
Okay,
Maybe. Careful, careful.
Okay, and I've got Mokai and Stacey Polo with us. Bring that over here, would you? And
This is... Oh, wait. Hold on.
It's cracking me up.
Look at that.
Right,
this
wow,
is great. This is Humboldt KMUD at its best. I got to say it. So
Well, it's that time of year. It's membership drive.
it's a membership drive, and I want to remind you all, in case you didn't already know, you've got KMUD Community Radio's The Cannabis Show with your hosts, Steve Dodge and Sunshine Saraseda, and we're going to be talking with Mokai and Stacey Polo, and I saw that Mokai brought in a guitar. So he's going to share something with us. That'll be exciting. And from what I heard on the message you sent to me, is not just live music we're going to have. We're going to talk a little bit about what it was, old school, some old school talk.
Yeah, some of growing in the old days here with Mokai. And learn a little bit more about him and his time here in Humboldt and saving ancient redwoods.
And I understand that Stacey spotted some of the seldom seen sun-grown.
Yes, we're gonna talk a little bit about that too, about finding sun-grown in San Francisco and her journey for that, because she does love good herb.
And are we really down one headphone? Is it really true? Okay.
Wait, here we come.
Javi is a prince among engineers. He's handing me right now his headphone. I have no idea how he's going to do anything in the studio without it, but
We're doing it.
Yeah, we're making it happen.
okay, I can hear you. I can hear me. Mokai and Stacey don't have sound
On their mic.
in their headphones.
Let's check your mic. Oh, okay.
No, they don't have sound in their headphones.
All right.
So I came across something in my wanderings on the web I wanted to share.
Oh, yeah?
Well, you know, High Times has come back on.
Sure, yeah.
They're there again. I'll be honest. I was never that excited about them to begin with. They always seem too glossy. But
glossy.
That's just my ill-informed opinion. But they're trying hard, and they did an article.
Oh yeah, they sure did. They had an article on
Yeah, and
Emerald Triangle,
and
growing in the hills and surviving.
Mm-hmm. The title of the article, and you can go on High Times and see it, is "The Keepers of the Hidden Hills," which I really love. That the Keepers of the Hidden Hills. That's everybody out there, guys. Survival and spirit in the Emerald Triangle, and a lot of what they talk about in their article is stuff you've heard here on our show. Small farmer stuff, growing old style. It's all exciting stuff, and they're actually a little rabble-rousing. I'm going to go for a quote here somewhere. I got this. Yeah, they got. Okay, here we go. The past that refuses to die.
Oh,
that's us. Okay.
Which part of the past?
Well, none of it's dead, so I don't know if it matters. But anyway, you recognize that guy, don't you?
Yep, that's Jason Gelman of Ridgeline Farms.
That's what I thought. I'm still going down looking for my quote.
Looking pretty like a little rebel for sure.
Oh, yeah, you saw that? He looks Mr. Rebel, joint in his hand.
That in the article.
Yeah. Anyway, but we're all rebels. Certainly, I like the image, but in our case, it isn't actually an image. Oh, here's the quote. Hardened, but never abandoned. The guardians remain keepers of the hidden hills. As long as they stand, the triangle won't fall.
That's right.
Hey, and that got me all worked up.
It's like, I surrender, I don't submit.
Yeah, that's right. There's no submission.
That's right.
But we have our guests. We have our guests with us, and Mokai, could you tell us?
Yeah.
Mokai, can you tell us a little about who you are and what you're up to?
Yeah. Great, good to be here. Really fun to
visit
KMUD. I'm one of these people who was around. I'm one of these people who was around here in the early '80s, so I remember when there was no KMUD and then there was a KMUD.
Yeah, that's right.
But it was like the early KMUD days, and most people kept in touch in the hills with CBs. Mm-hmm. Remember the CB radios? And people would be calling from one ridge to the other to talk to people and tell each other what's going on.
Yeah, KMUD was a big deal.
There was no telephones or anything, But I came here in the early 80s, and funny story is I knew a guy who was up here who had just come up here and started to homestead in the early 80s. And I was living back in Vermont. I was a roommate of his sister. And so he came to visit us one time. And he showed up and he had this joint with him. And I guess he brought some weed back east with him. But by the time he got to us, he'd visited all his friends. And we were the last friends. He had one joint of this thing. And he goes, "This is Sinsemilla." And we're like, "Who's what? What's a Sinsemilla? What is that?" So it's actually that long ago, before anybody had heard of the word or anything. So we had that one joint that we shared with some people. And we were like, "Oh yeah, it smells different, it tastes different." We were pretty interested. So he invited me to come out here, and I came out at some point in the early '80s to California, and I just went to visit him, just having no idea of what I was walking into, and ended up, in the midst of the cannabis scene as it was, just starting to kick off. Just people were just starting to realize that they could actually make some money off of their homegrown, that people wanted their homegrown. And one of the guys that I knew back then, met at that time, was Doug Furr, who has always claimed famously that he brought a bunch of the first indica seeds here.
Yes, he has made that claim.
So, I was just checking all that out. And for a number of years that I lived up here, I was able to just work and survive, like working for cannabis growers or for people who were homesteading, doing, odd jobs on their homestead, carpentry, whatever they needed. And then during the harvest season, there would be, work around. So I was able to just live on the fringes of that whole scene because I was mostly focused on environmental stuff. So starting in the early 80s, I was up in Oregon with the first bulldozer blockades in the Kalmiopsis wilderness. I was here when they first started the Sinkyone campaign to stop the logging out in the Sinkyone before it was even a park. There was a Georgia Pacific land that was being logged out there, so we were part of those first protests with Earth First. Mm-hmm. And then we were up in Oregon doing the Kalmiopsis wilderness, and we went with a guy who's pretty notorious around here, Mikhail Jacobal. Some people might know, had a place in Bryceland.
Plant Humboldt. He had the nursery there.
Yeah, so back
growing some beautiful plants.
Yeah, and he was like a teenager when I met him in the mid '80s, and he was one of the first tree sitters. So he got us all to go up in the trees to block the logging up in Oregon. And then when we heard about the logging going on in Headwaters in the Palco land that was bought out by Maxam in the mid-'80s, we brought that down here and we started doing some of those tree sit actions and blockading and doing all the work together with Epic to get the lawsuits and everything going.
Well, that's epic, and
that's epic.
It's epic, and it puts you right in the center of one of the biggest efforts here in the county. It's true. Well, Stacey, please tell us about yourself, would you?
I'm just going to sit on Mokai's lap. Hi. I am Stacey, otherwise known as CC, and I went to school at Humboldt State, and that's how I met Mokai, through the campaign to save the last ancient redwoods. I was a student activist, bringing people onto Headwaters and telling them all about it and organizing some of the lobby visits and voter organizing and that kind of end of it. And then I met this one with the guitar, and the rest is history. But we were at an eco conference down in Berkeley, I think, when I met you, and just fell in love with the region. And I just love not just the region and all the people I know here, but public radio. I'm such a public radio junkie. So I'm so grateful that we had a chance to stop by while you guys were raising money at this pivotal time for public radio.
It is a pivotal time, too.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. In fact, you reminded me, thank you, the last several shows I've been making a point of explaining to my listeners, to the listener, how important you are. And the money that you can spare for the station is more important now than it's ever been, because this piece of work administration we have is taking money away from public broadcasting. Just because they're mean, evil, I can't say those things. Anyway, keep listening and think about supporting KMUD. Thanks. So when Sunshine sent the text to me and I saw the words old school days, I immediately got excited. I thought, well, okay, yeah, I like that. Those were exciting times for me too. So let me ask you, and it may sound like a silly question, but when you hear the words old school days, Stacey, what's it mean to you?
Well, I mean, first, it's radio, because like Mokai was saying, it was one of the forms of communication that really tied us together as a region. I was up in Humboldt, and I would, be listening to KMUD, but also the radio station up there on campus, and the music. The music is such a part of this region, and it really brings us all together in so many great ways. And of course, the incredible cannabis. Like that's that's what I remember from the old school days. You know, these are the things that
good
wanted
weed and good music.
good weed and good
weed,
music
yeah.
and community and people really working together. Listen, we've all had our scraps. I mean, I used to love to tune into Thank God It's Friday and just listening to all the people tuning in, and it's just like imagining people sitting in their kitchen trimming or whatever they're doing on their crop, and like, you know, having a good kvetch on the radio.
Yeah, that's right. And that public radio allows you to do that.
It's like the town square, but radio. And I think in this time where, you know, obviously we're with unprecedented threats to the planet, it's not just the AI that's going to get us out of this. It's going back to our roots, to that old school. The radio airwaves are something that's going to be a lot harder for them to take it away as long as we kick down and do our part and pay it forward, because it's gotten us here. And I know with, you know, Democracy Now! Is my lifeline to information. I know
Sure.
I can trust
Yeah,
Amy
yeah,
Goodman,
such
and
good
you guys
quality,
have always brought that kind of content into my head and into my heart. So it's like, this is what I think is you know, the old school for me, and it's going to be new again.
I like, you know, I got to agree with you on that because, well, Sunshine, I think that the things that a lot of people think are not worth it up here, old school attitudes, are what is going to bring us back and revive the area. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think just about like really knowing about like what it is that you value and whatnot, and so valuing good weed and good music and your local radio. Yeah, that's
Sounds like a good place to start, eh?
yeah.
I want to say something about the old school.
Yeah, please.
If I could. You know, what was here in the late 70s and early 80s was really unique and historic. And at the time, my impression is like people weren't moving up here to be part of the cannabis industry because there wasn't a cannabis industry.
That's true. Yeah.
And there was a certain number of people who came up here who had connects back in LA or New York or wherever where they could bring their homegrown. And there was certain people like you were saying, Doug Fur brought those indica seeds, and people started doing the crossing and finding out that there was a climate here and that they could develop hybrids that would work in this climate, and made Humboldt world famous pretty quickly. But at the beginning, it was very much a Wild West atmosphere where nobody exactly knew what was going on. And from one year to the next, it went from like, you know, $900 a pound to $1,200 a pound to $2,000 a pound and on up to when it peaked out. You guys probably know better than me, like $5,000 a pound or something like that in the mid 90s. Mm-hmm. But it changed people's lives and it changed people's lifestyles. But at the early stage, it was really just about the creativity and expressing freedom, and like the parties that were here that I went to in the early 80s, some of those parties out on the people's land, or like the Halloween parties they would have at this, the original Mateel. They were some of the wildest times. Like people were just so creative and having so much fun and just really living really free. Like people didn't have a lot of money, they didn't have fancy cars, a lot of people didn't have a lock on the door to their house, or they were just living in cabins and stuff that they built themselves. It wasn't building with like 2x4s and plywood at that point as much, you know. But one of the other things that I'll say has changed though is back then there's now this kind of hybridization of weed that's happened, and there's so many hybrids. And back in the day, you could go to like Jamaica and get the original Jamaican indica cross that was from the indica seeds that were brought by the indentured servants the British brought from India to the Caribbean, and they created that regional hybrid. You know, you could go to Thailand and get the original Thai stick. Now you go to Thailand, it's all legal weed with Dutch genetics. You can get all the different strains. You go to Jamaica, people have brought seeds from all over the world to Jamaica, and they don't. I don't even know if the original races still persist out there in the hills somewhere.
Well, you know, somehow a lot of people think that the hybridization is a good thing, right? It seems money focused, seems to work for that. But I agree. You know, it really isn't such a good thing, you know. And it's interesting you mentioned the money thing, because when I moved up here, I had my 2-year-old, and I moved into a yurt, and that was, I mean, I and then proceeded to starve. But you know, I remember when I sold my first pound, it was a big deal. I thought I was ripping the people off. Right, and it's you know, Mokai, I kind of wish that was back again. Maybe it's coming at us at a high rate of speed, but I kind of hope, you know, because there was a whole different way of looking at things. Oh, and
a call. Do we want to take that call?
We have a caller?
We're all in the same studio, so caller, you're going to go right on the air, so be ready. We're taking you, but you're going right on the air.
Hi there.
Oh.
Tell them to call back.
Oh, yeah, okay. Call back, okay? Our engineer doesn't have any headphones, so... but
Wait a minute.
I mean, we're flying blind here, guys.
Are we ready for some live music? Maybe.
Absolutely, we're ready
All
for
right.
anything in here.
Well, before you get into your music, please get your guitar out. I do want to remind our listeners that they've got KMUD Community Radio's The Cannabis Show with your host Steve Dodge and Sunshine Sarasota, and we're real pleased to have Mokai and Stacey Polo with us, and we're kind of reminiscing about the old days. Mokai plays music. You know, not like I play music, just banging things together. So he's getting himself set up for us right now.
Yeah, we're getting the mic set up there in the other studio.
Dennis, are we playing music in Studio B?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so he can go ahead and take his guitar to Studio B.
Perfect. Yeah, it's all.
Okay.
You're
I've
ready
got
to
an
go.
anonymous challenge.
Oh, we have a challenge?
That is, it's a 420 challenge.
Oh,
and
great.
For the OGs,
We
all
love
of
it.
them,
We
in
love
all
it.
capacities.
Okay.
So if we can raise $420, this anonymous challenger will give us 420.
All right.
Okay.
Do we need to?
Will you guys?
Did listeners hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I hope so. The challenge is on 420.
420.
And we need you, the callers, to call 923-3911.
Yes, ma'am. And please give a call.
Let's meet that challenge. We got about a half hour to do it.
Yeah, meet the challenge.
Yeah.
Please, you know.
Let's do it.
There's a request.
Can we? Oh, we got it.
There's so many. What you got? We got the caller.
We got the
Caller's
caller.
back. Hi, you're on the air.
Oh, am I right there on the air right now?
Yeah.
Right this moment.
Oh, Sunshine.
Hey, thanks for calling,
Hi, Steve.
Hey, guy.
You might recognize my voice.
Sunman.
Well, I remember 1974. We were up here. We didn't know about taking the males from the females. But that wasn't the goal. It was I grew up in San Diego, but lived in Sonoma County in the early 70s. But we used to salvage old Victorian houses and barns and sell the used lumber
Wow.
with a
Yeah.
goat in the back of the truck up to Bell Springs. But I remember Jarrett came down Rossman, and therefore they were up around the meadow from us. But take away the males from the females. We would just smoke the upper leaf, or have some herb from Mexico or something. But that wasn't the big focus. I remember it was milking goats and growing food. We were all excited. Back to the land, cleaning up the logger's nest in the woods, the canopy. But to me, even though I partook in it, I didn't like it it was 1976, 77. That was the year Bill Walton won the NBA, the Blazers. But listen, my friends and I looked at it and went, yeah, right. Then the homesteads every year got put on the back burner. It was all about moolah. To me, it was Great Spirit's way, because what happened to the indigenous people in the sub-valleys in southern Humboldt, talk about Gaza, but,
Yeah.
they shot Sitting Bull in the back. It's been going on since Plymouth Rock, but listen, to me, it was Creator's way to see, because most of us were white people, and there was a vibe there. We would dig up pestles and bowls in our vegetable garden with a shovel, no rototiller. We were barefoot back to the land, But to me, I got sad because every year, locked gates and paranoia, and it should have never been illegal from the get-go.
Right.
And I get upset when I hear people cry, oh, I wish we could get more money. It's just like growing sunflowers. It's ridiculous. But you know what kills more than the COVID thing is per year in California, I checked it out, drunk driving. Yet you can go to the liquor store tonight and buy all the booze you want. And I often wonder, why do they have to have a police officer at a dispensary?
Right.
How about at a liquor store, 2 of them? But anyway, I'm trying to make sense out of this. The homesteads got totally put on the back burner. Everyone, not everyone, but people bought townhouses and they lost their swag. But I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm telling the truth.
Yeah.
They cut their hair, ball cap, brand new trucks. It was Great Spirit's way to see who's the real back to the land blue sky hippie. And now I go out to Harris and it's a long time forgotten. There's hoop houses blowing in the wind. How much PVC is in our creeks? We, think about it. They're all just in the. But anyway, I don't mean to. I just wanted to always call and
Thank you.
And I love you guys, but
Yeah, you too.
Grow potatoes, all that potting soil sitting around, grow food.
Potatoes,
Get back to it again. Sunshine, you were raised
I remember,
here.
yeah.
Kid, I remember you when you were knee high.
I remember.
I love you guys. Steve, keep your head up.
Okay.
Right on, son, man.
Thanks.
Thanks for your call.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We got excellent. That was great to hear from an OG.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get
Yeah.
Mokai going here.
Yeah.
What? We have another caller.
We got another caller. Okay, let's get him in.
Let's get him.
Hi.
Oh, that must be me.
Hey, welcome to the Cannabis
I
Show.
know. Thank you so much for the welcome. It's Maureen, and I'm pondering about what I want to say because it needs to be fresh, spontaneous, and
Absolutely. Every day.
I keep, whenever this program comes in, because I live, it was so funny, I'll try to be brief, but when I came here from South Carolina in 2006, I thought I was smelling skunk. I had no idea.
Oh, and now you're missing skunks. You're like, where's the skunks?
I had no idea. I thought, but I wanted to have some pot, and yet I'm a single woman living. I didn't feel safe enough to ask anybody until finally I did. And what I think is so important to understand, of course I could be wrong, but is that when we're looking for an altered state, and I've said this on this program before, when we're looking for an altered state, we're actually looking for our normal state.
You're right. That's exactly right.
I know.
That's right. People forget how good normal can be. You get so far away from it, and then you feel normal, and you're like, you know what, I love it. And people are like, what? You want to feel normal? You're like, yeah, I love this.
Normal is going to be okay.
So the other thing is that I really get upset when money is put in front of that, right? Like, oh, we used to get this much for this much, and this much is not. Like, it upsets me because it's not about money.
Yeah, really got to decolonize the plant, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, you got it. Oh, thank you so much,
right on.
sweetheart.
Thanks for your call.
Sit down and hear from the other callers. Thanks for being there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for being here for KMUD.
Yeah. And
are we ready for some live music?
Live music.
All right, Mokai.
Hey, yeah, thanks. I'm Mokai. I want to sing you a song.
923-3911.
I want to sing you a song that I wrote. Recently, I just released this late last year, and you can find it on Bandcamp, mokai.bandcamp, BANDCAMP. It's Mokai, MOKAI. And it's a song called Going Back to Humboldt. And I wrote it, after living in Humboldt in the early 80s, and then I moved down to San Francisco, and I was... just thinking about the times I had up here and thinking about the people that I knew up here and thinking how things have changed with just how we're living in this country, but also the changes of the cannabis industry. So when I was living up here in the early 80s, I had a lot of friends who had kids. And as you can imagine, those kids grew up, and I got to see some of that process. And so one of the inspirations for this song is our good friend Sunshine Saraseta. And when I was a Earth First activist and living off of borrowed granola, her mom Agnes, who you all know from her show here on KMUD, Agnes Patak, and she put me up for a while, and so I got to see Sunshine as a kid. And I got to see, all these different kids that I knew, like Sunshine, who leave Humboldt, and they go out in the world and they check out different, different places around the world, and try to live different lifestyles. Some of them would go to school somewhere in a different state or in a different country, and some would take off and, try to work a job in different parts of the country. And what I noticed is that a lot of these kids, they ended up coming back. So this is kind of a tale, a pre-legalization tale of people living out in the hills, and then their kids growing up, and the kids taking off and then coming back and trying to fit back in here in Humboldt. It's called Going Back to Humboldt. Going back to Humboldt, where the hills are green and gold. Going back to Humboldt, where the river runs deep and cold. Going back to Humboldt, where it's quiet at night. Going back to Humboldt, where they treat me right. I was raised up in the hills, 7 miles out an old dirt road, in a little cabin that my family built, nothing there was up to code. My family, they were outlaws growing black market weed, living close to the land was their only creed. But I had to get away, I had to find out what the world out there was like. Learn about these people living so-called normal lives, pretending I fit in, walking on a crowded street, stepping over people living on the cold concrete. Yeah, I'm going back to Humboldt, where the hills are green and gold. I'm going back to Humboldt, where the river runs deep and cold. Going back to Humboldt, where it's quiet at night. Going back to Humboldt, where they treat me right. Laying by the river, so happy just to be alive. But even out here in the hills, you need money to survive. I got a new girlfriend, she's got a little kid. I guess I'm gonna end up doing what my family did. Yeah, I'm going back to Humboldt, where the hills are green and gold. Going back to Humboldt, where the river runs deep and cold. Going back to Humboldt, where it's quiet at night. Going back to Humboldt, where they treat me right.
Very, very sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, that was great. Whoa, sorry. We were dancing around, having a good time.
Yeah. Do we have a call? No. Do you have another for us?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
All right,
great.
let's do it.
Sure. Yeah, I'll sing something. This is, I've got a bunch of music out there. You can find mokaimusic.com. The next song I'm going to sing is something unreleased, unrecorded, unreleased. It's something I wrote recently. And, things are going on in this world. And, as a songwriter, you try to, keep track of it, chronicle some of it, put out music that might help people relate or deal with it or be meaningful to them. But one of the things I'm noticing, it just feels like we're at a late stage. A lot of things have developed, and they've developed and developed, and they've reached a point where something's got to shift because things are getting kind of clogged up there. I don't know. So Time is Moving On is the name of this song, and it's just how we just got to keep living our lives, living our lifestyle, and keep putting out into the universe what we want to see, It's called Time is Moving On. Time is moving on. Time isn't moving at a steady rate. Time isn't moving, but it ain't too late. Time moves fast, don't you know? Sometimes time moves way too slow. I said time is moving on. Time is moving on. Time don't stop, time don't bend, time don't joke, time ain't your friend. Time is the master, time is a thief, but only time can bring relief. I said time is moving on. Time is moving on. Always growing like an ancient tree, slowly evolving like you and me. The sediment is settling on our past. I'm just out here trying to make a good thing last. Well, I said time is moving on. Time is moving on. Let the river run, let the river roll, 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 let the river run, let the river roll. Time is moving on.
Damn, Mokai. Two really sweet pieces. Thank you for sharing those with us.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you.
Super nice.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to remind our listeners that they've got KMUD's The Cannabis Show, and we do still have 5 minutes. You can call in. You can make a comment. We want to hear from you. So get in touch if you want. You can reach us 707-923-3911. That's 923-3911. Give us a call.
Oh, yeah, that was great. All right, well, let's carry on with the Cannabis Show.
On with the Cannabis Show. I mean, I tell you, Mokai's music is just so sweet. I just hear it in my head
Yeah,
right
I know.
now.
I'm like, woo, that was like a little lullaby there. I'm like, all right,
oh,
just
yeah.
kind
Very nice.
of relaxed,
Very nice.
very relaxed. We do have a caller.
We have a caller. Oh, let's get him.
Yeah, we have
Two
two
callers.
You're
Well,
coming.
one
Yep.
at a time.
Let's go.
Hey, you're in the studio.
You sure are. You're with us.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, hi.
Hi, this is Shane from Virginia.
Oh, hi,
Hey,
Shane.
Shane.
Hi. I just want to say, love the last two songs, and it makes me want to come back to Humboldt.
Nice. Well, it's been a beautiful day. We had a nice rain, and the sun's out right now, so the
Yay.
colors are just rich, and the air's rich, and
Yeah,
the buds
heaven
are
on
smelling.
earth where you are.
Yeah.
It is. It's amazing. I do want to make one thing, maybe two things. The girl that was talking about, and you as well, the other guy there, talking about the, the eco stuff going on with Julia Butterfly. I was there when that happened. I was at that where they had Bonnie Raitt and Mickey Hart and all these folks were there. Graham Nash, I think, was there.
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
They had remember they had the big food thing up around the stage. It was free juices.
Was that the one out in Carlotta?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah,
I was there. That was cool.
Yeah, I'll never forget the cops on the bridge, and I don't even know why they were there. But there was a giant rainbow that came out. I don't know if anybody else remembers this. And the rainbow went right to where the cops were standing on the bridge on 101. But I had some great memories of that. And thank you for standing up for your environmental work and all that great stuff.
Hey,
and
thank
I'm
you.
also an alumni of Humboldt and College of Redwoods. But I love the songs, and I'll check it out on Bandcamp. I think it's where you said it is.
Right on, man. Hey, thank you. Thanks, Shane.
All right.
Okay, thanks for your call.
All right. Bye-bye.
We have another caller, huh? Hi. You're in the studio.
Hi,
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, we can hear
Welcome
you.
to the Cannabis Show.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I was just thinking, I raised my kids there. It was really nice to hear your music. I was thinking my daughter would enjoy to hear that song. She's in her 30s. But what was on my mind was kind of the logging that's happening around here.
Okay.
Due to people needing money.
That's it's happening right now on my street. So I hear you.
Is it? Yeah, and what strikes me is a couple of things, because I went around and I looked at those timber harvest plans, and first of all, they're hard to read and understand, and second of all, as you're coming up to speed on it, you get the impression, I get the impression, that people cannot see the forest for the trees, because each of us has such a little tiny hunk of it. It's like a mosaic. We just got this little thing, and we think that whatever we do on our piece is okay is because it's us.
Right.
But the cumulative effect is
like the
we're
water
not looking at it.
Right. Yeah, not looking at it as like a watershed.
Yes, and beyond the watershed to the forest that connects, all the way north to British Columbia and south.
I mean,
and how much is left?
Well, you just brought up a good point. You'd think that when there's only 5% of the old growth left and it's still being cut, you would think that it'd be like, whoa, we're down to the last 5%. Come on, people, what's up? We can't keep cutting old growth. Like, yeah, exactly. I hear you.
Yeah, so I don't know what to do about it. I'm looking for ideas because the battle, or the whatever you want to call it, about, hey, let's think a little bit more considerately of the future rather than just our own personal pockets in this moment.
Yeah, I mean, I've had logging trucks going past my house every day since this past summer into the fall. So yeah, it's like a funeral every day.
Sunshine, I think the word out on the street is property values are down. Anybody who wants to make a buck, go in there and get a piece of land. If there's a few logs left on it, regulations are cheap and sleazy now. You can move forward and make some money.
You are right. It's right. Like I said, it's right happening on my street.
Ugly.
Yes, it's right there in front of my face. I got to look at it now, and hopefully our street won't flood.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Right on. Well, anything more you want to add?
No.
Okay,
just
thank you.
Just talking about the people that
Hey, we're gonna
were involved in anti-logging activities before. I think it's time to get back on board.
Okay, excellent, man. Thanks for your call.
We got another caller, dear.
Yeah,
we're going to take them. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for your call.
Welcome to the Cannabis Show.
Hi. Hi, Sunshine.
Hi.
And Steve.
Hi.
Hey,
hey, Dan.
I know this is the Cannabis Show, but my friends called me because they said that my friends were on the radio with you. So
Hey, Dan, it's Stacey.
Yeah. So I'm multitasking as usual, and I'll put in a pitch for KMUD. I may not have the money.
Right on, man. Thank you.
But the one of the reasons that I know you guys traveled here is to keep KMUD on the air with everything that just happened, and I don't know while we're busy trying to change the world and make it better, the cannabis industry is almost dead. I can get herb for free from just about anybody. Nobody I know is making any money out of it. A couple of people still have some broker or some legal production, but it's game over. But my birthday, I just told people I was back to smoking, and I got more weed than I could possibly smoke in a year.
Happy birthday.
So as far as cannabis goes, it's too bad we can't donate it to KMUD, and then they could sell it and make enough money to stay on the air.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
It would be nice. It would be nice.
Can't take your pounds, but we can take your sterling. All right.
Yeah. But I really want to thank you for coming up here and doing the work. And I heard the last two songs that you sang, and the first one really pulled hard.
Right on, man. Thank you. Thank you.
About the kids coming back. And multi-generational, we're doing it. There's a benefit for Coastal Grove. It's a Renaissance fair. My friend's flying back here to do stuff there, but it's called the Medieval Festival of Courage, and it funds Coastal Grove School.
What's the date on that? We got to get to our next caller, but what's the date on that?
That's the 4th and 5th.
Okay, and that's up in Blue Lake?
That's in Blue Lake.
Okay, great.
On the field.
Okay,
and,
great.
Thanks very much for your call.
Good to hear your voice, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Man, thank you.
Thanks for introducing us.
Hi, you're on the air.
Yeah, I want to echo the other callers and also say thank you to, I don't know if it's Mokai and Sue, but I also love both those songs, and I love that sentiment coming back to Humboldt. I'll be quick here. Basically, I think what Humboldt and KMUD specifically represents is the glimmer of light and love in a world that's full of hate and darkness right now. And so, going back to Sunman, I think that's where we gotta come back to is old school, basically community and growing food, and trying to keep the good music and still growing the good buzz, even if it's just for us to
and the good potatoes.
Be in that frame of mind. Last thing, I'll just throw the question out there: when is it time to harvest? When you see how much rain coming? That's my question. Is what people? I guess it's the end of the show, but what?
It's gonna get sweeter.
Whether to cut or not.
Give it
3
days. Give it 3 days.
Yeah.
Let it get wet. Let it get cold. It'll sweeten up, but don't let it just depends on how many gray days you have after the. It just depends on how many cold days you have or cloudy days after the rain. So if it's sunny, might be all right. But yeah, give it. You need 3. Yeah, those 3 days. But,
Okay. Hey, thanks for your call.
Yeah, thanks for your call. All right, we're at the top of the hour.
We're at the top of the hour.
Cece, do you want to let the listeners know one more time where they can find Mokai's music?
Yeah, he's at mokaimusic.com, and that's MOKAIMUSIC.com. And we will see y'all next time we come through. We're so grateful to be here.
Oh, likewise. Thank you.
And we'll be tuned in from down there.
Awesome.
Well, we'd certainly really love have you back on the show. This has been great.
Excellent.
Thank you, Mokai.
Thank you, Mokai.
And you have been listening to KMUD Community Radio's The Cannabis Show with your hosts, Steve Dodge and Sunshine Sarasota. We've been very pleased to have Mokai and Stacey Polo with us, talking old school, playing a little music. It's been a sweet show. And next week, well, guys, we haven't quite figured it out yet. But you can tune in, and you can listen in, and you can call in.
Right on. Yeah. Thanks
we'll
for our
look forward
callers.
to it.
Thanks to our callers today.
Good night.
Thanks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Happy birthday, yeah, my friend. Yeah. One more year on them. Yeah. Go on, one vibe. Give thanks for life. Next year we doing it again. Yeah, yeah. Happy birthday, yeah, my friend. Whoa. One more year on them. Yeah. More life to you, can we there till the end. Real from me heart, no pretend. Big birthday, bash. If I ever on the ground, nigga, splash. Give thanks for we life, oh gosh. Watch it, they make me go dip in at the stash. Drink and smoke so we frost. Turn up the sound box. Girl, them a bubble to the max. Everything well, cool and relax. So we send out the location. They a pass spot. We a pop champagne non-stop, yeah. Happy birthday, yeah, my friend. Yeah. One more year.
Yeah. It's Sunshine's birthday today, and Steve's is tomorrow.
It's Sunshine's birthday today, and we forgot to tell you. And God help me, it's my birthday tomorrow.
Right on. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Real from me heart, no pretend. Yeah, still I live, so we loving life. It's another year, so we are rejoice. Be a family around, we not paranoid. Gratitude is a must, so make we build a vibe. Yeah, the most I pray